So on the third hole at Bawtree Golf Club, par 4, it's a blind shot down a hill. We're just going to talk a little bit about strategy on the tee box then, so how you can pick the right parts of the tee, pick up on all the information to ensure that you pick the right shot and commit to it as well. So Mark picked up on a great point in terms of the alignment of the tee box. So what did you notice on this one, Mark?
Well, it's something that's come up a lot in during the tour player experience and lessons, etc. And you know, I tend to go around the guys, watch what's going on. And as you watch good players, they tend to do a lot of work behind the ball. They're necessarily not doing that much. They may be just looking, checking things out, visualising, etc. And the first two things that I check is where's the tees aiming and where the markers are aiming, because they're not necessarily square to the tee as well. It happens at all courses. Sometimes you can have a tee aiming down the left, they can try and square the markers up. So you just stand this side just to check the little things like this. So like here, this tee aims well for me because it's down the right hand side. If you're hitting an iron down the left, this is
Way
aiming
off.
right, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, as a pro you pick up on this stuff. As an amateur, sometimes short par 4 here, you can lose shots by just being a bit blasé with your layups, etc. Just make every shot count. I know it's a bit of a cliche alert there, but it is true when you're out on the course. So straight away, I'm thinking that aims well for me, so that's good. I'd get on, you know, and smack that on my start line.
Yeah.
If I was hitting an iron down the left, I'd be making a conscious decision saying, well, that tee's aiming there, I've got to aim 15 yards left to where this team's aiming.
Yeah.
And that's just little things that people don't pick up on. And it's happened a few times in lessons lately where I've just stood behind, watched somebody hit the first shot, and they've slammed it, and they've hit a great shot, and they've gone, oh, that's terrible. I was like, well, that's just exactly where you've aimed. And in golf, from the playing side of things, the worst thing is to think, oh, I wish I'd done that beforehand.
Yeah.
To improve your scores, if you can start making these decisions beforehand, that's how we get our scores down, and you know, improve handicaps and get everything feeling good.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good point that you make, having that perspective of standing behind the ball. You can collect more information as well then, can't you? So it's just information collecting prior to this, then you're using your practice swings to feel what you're about to action, and touching on the start line that you picked up on there. Where is your start line in all of this? And I often use this analogy in lessons, seeing the fairway or the flag and sectionalise it in like a motorway lane, if you will, motorway lanes. So you have slow, middle and fast. Middle lane being the centre of the fairway, slow and fast being either side of it, left and right. And knowing that all balls curve generally, some fade it, some draw it, pick your lanes properly. If you start the ball down the middle and it fades or draws, it's always moving away, it's always missing the centre of the fairway. We want to get comfortable in starting the ball in that slow lane, bringing it back if it's a fade, or start it in the fast lane, then working it into the middle. And then already from there, your start line starts to change, your attention starts to shift into where we want to see the ball curving from. Not all about where we want the ball to start or finish. Most people are just concerned where it finishes and not where it's starting.
Yeah, and then you're using some great visualization then from this side of the ball, and the main reason of being on this side of the ball is to either visualize start line, target, you know, and that's a brilliant analogy. So all of a sudden, if you picture down there, like you say, just it's your decision. There's no right or wrong. You know, you have your lessons, you do everything. But we're talking about golf now, and that's what you do on the tee. What shot do you like? What shot do you fancy at the moment? What shot are you playing that day? And just work out what's going to get you the best tee shot at that moment in time.
Exactly, yeah. And looking where the trouble is. If there's trouble in the fast lane, you know, you want to start the ball down the slow lane, bringing it in, not flirting with starting it too far in that fast lane, and it curves even more into out of bounds. So you can really start to funnel your attention into the right parts of the hole. So the layout of the hole starts to look different. Where you're starting the ball and where you want it to curve from is going to really change your game there, changes your whole mindset, and as a result, the way you move and execute your shots as well. So using that motorway analogy there, Mark, we know your game well, you like to hit a fade, so this is where living life in the slow lane might be good for you.
You know me well, Sam. I'm built for the slow lane. So yeah, exactly. So I keep using similar words, but it is consistency, a visualization. So for me, I'm looking down there. Yeah, it's a perfect analogy. I like a little fade, So I'm looking straight down that first lane, as I like to call it, not the slow lane. No, you know, and it's peeling back, and then you know, it's saying that straight away, you know, you break that down. I think, well, I've got 2 lanes for it to come back into.
Exactly.
And you know, you look into it the fairway, and that's exactly how we can bring both of those thoughts together.
Exactly, yeah, and you can do this in such a quick amount of time just by standing behind the ball, see the lanes in the sky or on the ground, however you prefer to see it. Then you can start to commit to that lane, whether it's in the fast or in the slow, and already then you start to build your setup, you build your practice swing all around that intention of where I want the ball to start, how I want it to curve, and you're collecting all the good information in, so you've got the best chance of executing it.
I think a good building's a perfect way. You build your confidence, you know, and course is a big confidence thing. We see a difference, you know, guys have lessons with you guys, they're on a mat, you know, or if they're on their own, they go onto a driving range on a mat. It is easier on a mat. The course is a tougher exam. The more you can help yourself, just have little ways of aiming better, playing better, visualising better. That's how you help yourself, rather than just standing on a square mat and just whacking balls.
Yeah, so in your practice, essentially, you can see these motorway lanes anywhere on the range, can't you? So you're seeing shaping balls moving from one lane to the other, find out which lane you prefer to start it in, but there's your feedback, and you go and play and you use the lanes then, and then even when you hit the shots you get feedback. Did it start in the lane that I wanted to? If it didn't, then you know you can start to change the face or the path depending on what the ball flight did. So it's a very objective way to look at it, especially out on the golf course. We don't want to be too subjective, emotional, thinking too much about the swing. Just look at it and refocus and go back to the lanes.
Yeah, it's a good point. They're just the good ways, good thought processes of getting it around the course, because you know, we're all about freeing up once you're out here. And you can do this stuff quick. Obviously, you know, we've gone into some depth there. It doesn't need to be long. You know, once you start getting into a routine, you'll see it up, you can get on with it. It doesn't need to be slow. You'll just start digesting the information quicker once you get into the routine of thinking that way and visualising, and then get on and play the shot.
Get on and play it, exactly. So without further ado, let's see you get on and hit a nice first lane fader back into the middle lane then.
See if we can walk the walk. So when he talked about speed there, so I mean, straight away with my first lane, I'll put like a target in that lane, and then just peel it and peel it to the other one.
Trust your shape, yeah. Yeah.
I think we've picked this hole because it's actually perfect for me. It's a dog leg left to right, and the tee aim's perfect.
Purpose built for him. So there's a little strategy, a process, guys, that you might want to incorporate into when you walk onto any tee box that you can take out there, any course, anywhere, but it's fast and it really helps to put your attention in the right places to allow you to free up, as Mark said, and just execute the shots.